All right, we're going to jump into the our back-to-back winning season segment. So,
by the way, I'm sorry. I love that called the Panthers segment.
Yeah.
some people still don't get
Yeah.
it. So, Mike Florio
Oh boy.
was on WFNZ, and he basically stated that Will Greer could be a leverage play against Cam, and says the Panthers have a hard choice in the next coming years. Rather pay Cam $40 million. Is he worth it at that point? What do you guys feel about this? I have my thoughts and opinions. What do you guys feel?
I'm going to ask a question.
Sure.
And then I'm going to give the floor to Jamal. At what point have we ever talked about a third rounder like this? And we haven't even gotten to training camp. Go, Jamal.
So there was someone on this panel a couple weeks ago that said if we draft Will Greer in the third round, it was going to be a bigger distraction than if we would have got Colin Kaepernick locally. I cleaned it up when I say locally. Damn it, here we are. Here we are already, and we are how many months away from the season?
Oh, man.
And
the draft was 2 weeks ago.
And here we are. Thank you, Mike Florio. Look, I don't even know if I can even listen to Charlotte Sports Radio for the next 8 months, man. I'm serious. Here we are. Look, man, to keep it football, to keep it on the field, man, how bad is Cam's shoulder? Because, look, man, if it's strictly about the injury, if you're really worried about him, if you're worried about him physically for the next 2-3 years, I'll say it, this stuff is valid.
Yeah.
However, if Cam comes into training camp and that shoulder is 100%, it is flat out disrespect. It is flat out unadulterated disrespect for a quarterback who won MVP 3 seasons ago, 3-4 seasons ago. Look, man, Mike Florio, he's a fire starter. He works very closely with WFNZ a lot. He's on air a whole lot, and he says things to get people going. I tried my best. I said, I'm not going to get mad at Mike Florio today because God knows I get mad at this dude every week he comes on the show, man. I'm going to try to be objective, man. Look, you drafted Will Greer. Again, I've said it before. I think it's a little bit of meddling on David Tepper's part. I don't know if the Panthers are overreacting or are they really being cautious. It all goes back to that doggone shoulder, man. How healthy is Cam? And let me say this one last thing. I'm gonna say this one last thing. Cam was asked about, how is he gonna be the day one starter? He said, "Well, it's a process." I didn't like that answer. I'm like, dude, no. I want you to say, "What do you mean? I'm the starter come game one." But he said, "We'll see. It's a process." So I hate to say it, man, but even Mike Florio has some validity when your quarterback is talking like that. So.
And here's why I don't give it much validity. Because if Cam Newton's shoulder is still of any concern, to no matter what degree, I have always said that we need to give him the Andrew Luck treatment, and we need to sit him for. I said that before the season was even over with. So bench him for a year, run with your backup, or pick up a quarterback in free agency. Now, here's another deal. When Cam Newton is healthy, he's top 5, top 10 quarterback in the NFL, depending on your perspective of a quarterback, because Cam likes to run a lot.
Right.
So, he has not shown me anything that will tell me as a general manager or an owner that I need to be getting rid of this guy in the next 1, 2, or 3 seasons.
Right.
With that being said, like I've said for the last month or so, you don't spend a third-round draft pick on a quarterback. Now, with Will Greer, as good as he is, when he comes in...
As good as people think he is. Go ahead.
As good as people think he is, as good as he may be, when he comes in backup, in relief, as an offensive coordinator, you have to change up your play calling.
Yes.
You essentially have to have 2 playbooks, one for Cam, one for Will Greer. Do you know who you would not need another playbook for?
Kaepernick.
Tyrod Taylor. You would not need another playbook for Colin Kaepernick. And so they could have easily brought in now. And I've always said I didn't want Carolina to bring in Colin Kaepernick. We'd have to talk about that another day. But they have similar skill sets, just like Cam Newton. So again, I don't know what's going on in management.
The problem is with moving on from Cam is that you're not just talking about changing the quarterback. To expand upon what you said, you are changing the culture of the franchise. If
Right.
you move on from Cam Newton, everything on the field, everything the Panthers do is predicated around his ability as a football player, not just as a passer or runner. The defenses are staying up all night trying to account for Cam Newton.
There's definitely gonna be no QB spot for Will.
Yeah,
Grier.
exactly. So you have to
No.
change that. It changes the way we run the ball. All them, Chris McCaffrey had a beastly season last year.
Because they had to pay so much attention.
Because they
him.
have to
Right.
pay so much attention to Cam Newton. That's gone. You change everything. That Cam Newton is the face of the franchise. He is the franchise. He is. So if you move on from Cam, then it's essentially, you might as well be saying, okay, we're going to rebuild. And honestly, I feel like the Panthers' core is too solid right now to go to rebuild. I like what they did on defense. I love the Burns draft pick.
Yeah.
I like that they re-signed Eric Reed.
Yeah.
And we've said this before on camera. I feel like if you have Luke Kuechly, a former Defensive Player of the Year, perennially one of the best defenders in the league, and Cam Newton, an MVP, on the same team,
Right.
and you don't win a Super Bowl, you've wasted both of their careers.
Yeah,
You've wasted a decade
Yeah.
of having two of the best players, the two future Hall of Famers. So I feel like you got to go with Cam till the wheels fall off.
Right.
You got to,
Right.
sitting him for a year, that might be the best thing. But as far as, should we move on? Especially if you're going to move on, you're not going to move on to Will Grier. Let's be
Right.
honest.
Right.
And that goes to me. This whole Will Grier thing was like kind of perplexing. I heard Marty Herney on I think it was on WFNZ saying that he was the no-brainer pick at 100. I'm like, if I understand the need for the backup quarterback position, the veteran would have been the better need. But if you really felt as though Cam in the future wasn't ready, why not just wait 2 years, next year to 2?
Exactly, because he still has 2 years. Yeah.
And why not wait for Trevor Lawrence? Like, in 2 years, Trevor Lawrence will be draftable, the best prospect, and then Cam is a free agent. You don't have to worry about cutting him or anything like that. It's just some things don't make sense to me.
If we bench Cam Newton for an entire, if we bench Cam Newton all year next year, and let's say we keep the backups, we play with the backups, they look good in spots, but we're not winning 6, 7, 8 games. Who is the number one quarterback going into next year?
Tua Tagovailoa.
I have a question that nobody has asked, man. It's one game. The game was pretty meaningless. However, New Orleans Saints starters were in the game, and they were playing to win. What about Kyle Allen?
Yeah.
Nobody has, because listen, man, I mentally checked out for about.
We all did.
We were checked out, and I was just like,
I
whatever.
checked out the first quarter of the Pittsburgh game.
Right.
Yeah.
But I watched this kid, and I'm looking at this kid playing against the New Orleans Saints starters, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching this kid make some very accurate downfield throws.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, nobody wants to talk about the kid anymore. And I just wonder why. Look, man, another part of me was like, I don't want to get the Matt Moore syndrome. Like, you saw Matt Moore have a couple of games. Like, oh my God. Like, how come nobody's mentioned him? But from what I saw out of Kyle Allen for 3.5 quarters, man, I'm just like, you sure you don't want to give this kid a shot other than spend your 3rd round pick on somebody who's unproven? But this is something I want
And
to
the
throw out
kid out of NC State, the quarterback out of
Philly.
Finley.
I think would have been a better pickup than Grier.
I agree. I totally agree.
agree.
From what I saw,
He
I
was
agree.
still available
I mean,
in the later rounds.
I agree.
A lot of them quarterbacks can't be Clemson. But
Plus,
he's pretty good.
I think one of the things that got underrated this season was North Turner's offense.
Yeah.
It started off great,
Yeah.
and we were all praising it. And then after
Right.
the Pittsburgh game, it was kind of went downhill. Although I feel like the defense was the biggest culprit, but that's another discussion.
And a lot of that rested on Cam's shoulder. Yeah.
Exactly. So, but I feel like you got an offense like the one that North Turner runs, and I think you could plug a guy like Kyle Allen in there.
Yeah.
He knows the offense very well.
Yep.
I think he's got the leg up on Will Grier coming into the season.
Right.
I would prefer to see him at least get the shot.
Yeah.
If they say, okay, we're going to rest Cam Newton,
Right.
or Cam's just not ready to go.
Right.
Well, hey, he came out, he played a hell of a game against the Saints. we won that game. Give the guy a shot.
Yeah.
I hope it's not a thing where, hey, we went all in on Will Grier in the third round, so
Right.
so let's.
Yeah, that's gonna be so trash.